When you think of Queen Latifah, the first images that come to mind are of a trailblazer, a multifaceted artist who has broken barriers in music, film, and television. Yet, beneath the surface of her remarkable success lies a story filled with profound sadness. In fact, Queen Latifah's journey has been marked by heart-wrenching loss, including the tragic passing of loved ones and the weight of societal expectations. How has she managed to navigate such pain while maintaining her status as an icon? This exploration delves into the heartbreaking events that have influenced her life and career, revealing the hidden struggles and resilience of a woman who has always fought to rise above tragedy. Queen Latifah has built a multifaceted career as an actress, singer, producer, and talk show host. However, her personal life, especially her formative years and the challenges she faced, adds a compelling depth to her public persona. Raised in East Orange, New Jersey, Latifah experienced a blend of urban and suburban influences that shaped her upbringing. Her family environment was rich with music and creativity. Her mother, Rita Owens, was a school teacher, and her father, Lancelot Owens Sr., served in the U.S. Army. This background fostered Latifah's artistic inclinations early on. She spent her childhood surrounded by the vibrant culture of New Jersey, which would later inform her musical and acting styles. Latifah's journey to success has not been without its personal tragedies. In 1992, her older brother, Lancelot Jr., was killed in a motorcycle accident, a tragic event that profoundly impacted her. The motorcycle involved in the accident had been a gift from Latifah to her brother. In a poignant gesture of remembrance, she began wearing the key to the motorcycle around her neck, a symbol of her enduring love and guilt. This piece of jewelry became a visible part of her identity, often seen during her performances, including her role in the popular sitcom Living Single. The loss of her brother not only shaped her personal life but also influenced her artistic expression, fueling her desire to honor his memory through her work. Latifah's life has also been marked by several high-profile incidents that brought her under the media spotlight for less favorable reasons. In 1995, she was the victim of a carjacking that escalated into a traumatic experience when her boyfriend, Sean Moon, was shot during the incident. This event not only highlighted the dangers she faced living in a high-profile world, but also underscored her resilience in navigating such challenges. Her encounters with law enforcement further complicated her public image. In 1996, Latifah was arrested and charged with possession of marijuana and a loaded handgun. A few years later, in 2002, she was arrested for driving under the influence in Los Angeles County, leading to a conviction that placed her on 3 years of probation. These incidents, while not defining her, revealed the complexities of her life and the pressures that come with fame. Latifah has often spoken about her growth from these experiences, emphasizing her commitment to learning from her mistakes and moving forward. Despite the challenges she faced, Latifah maintained close ties with her family, particularly with her mother. Rita Owens had been a significant influence in her life and career, providing unwavering support as Latifah navigated the entertainment industry. Tragically, on March 21, 2018, Latifah lost her mother to heart failure, a condition that had plagued Rita since 2004. The loss was devastating for Latifah, who had openly expressed her deep affection for her mother in various interviews. Rita's passing marked a profound moment in Latifah's life as she reflected on the values her mother instilled in her and the strength she drew from that relationship. For years, Queen Latifah chose to keep her personal life private, particularly concerning her romantic relationships. This decision to stay reserved amid rumors and speculation contributed to a sense of intrigue surrounding her public persona. When asked about the topic in a 2008 interview with the New York Times, Latifah was candid about her decision, stating, "I don't feel like I need to share my personal life, and I don't care if people think I'm gay or not." Her refusal to be drawn into discussions about her private life reflected her desire to protect her personal boundaries, especially as a public figure who had risen to prominence in both the music and film industries. Latifah's focus remained on her craft and her contributions as a groundbreaking artist. However, in 2021, during the BET Awards, Queen Latifah made a significant personal revelation that shifted the public's understanding of her life. As she accepted the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, she acknowledged her longtime partner, Ebony Nichols, and their son, Rebel, for the first time. This marked a pivotal moment in her public life, as it was the first instance where she openly discussed her family. She concluded her speech with a warm, happy pride, a gentle yet impactful expression of her support for the LGBTQ+ community. This sentiment resonated with her fans and the wider public, as it appeared to acknowledge the speculations about her personal life without explicitly addressing them. This moment reflected not only Latifah's personal growth, but also highlighted her strength and openness in sharing a more personal aspect of her journey. Latifah's decision to address her personal life at this point in her career, after decades of privacy, highlighted her comfort and confidence in both her professional and personal achievements. It also emphasized her commitment to authenticity, choosing to reveal aspects of her private life on her own terms, at a time she felt was right. In addition to her evolving openness about her family life, Queen Latifah has also explored her ancestry and family history, providing her with a deeper understanding of her roots. In January 2020, during an episode of Finding Your Roots, the PBS series hosted by Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr., Latifah uncovered remarkable details about her family's history. The episode, titled "This Land is My Land," revealed that Latifah's family descended from a line of freed African Americans. This was a significant discovery, as her ancestors were listed by name in the 1860 U.S. Census in Virginia, a rarity for African Americans at that time, as slaves were almost never recorded by name in pre-Civil War censuses. This revelation profoundly impacted Latifah, who learned not only about her ancestors' freedom, but also the exact date when one of her earliest known ancestors, a woman named Juggie Owens, was emancipated from slavery. Juggie Owens became free on October 1, 1792, a date that carries great historical significance for Latifah and her family. The discovery of Juggie Owens' emancipation before the Civil War was a powerful and emotional moment for Latifah. It provided her with a tangible connection to her family's resilience and survival through some of the darkest chapters of American history. Understanding that her ancestors had lived as free people before the abolition of slavery allowed Latifah to reflect on her own legacy and place within that lineage. It also gave her a deeper appreciation of her ancestors' perseverance and the struggles they faced to maintain their freedom in a country where slavery was the norm. Now let's talk about the conflicts that arose in Queen Latifah's life. The rivalry between her and Foxy Brown, two powerful figures in the 1990s hip-hop scene, began in mid-1996 and became one of the most publicized feuds in rap history. What started as a subtle lyrical exchange quickly escalated into a contentious back and forth, reflecting not only the competitive nature of hip-hop, but also the complexities of gender, power, and identity in a male-dominated industry. The spark that ignited the feud came when Queen Latifah released the track Name Callin', featured on the Set It Off movie soundtrack. While Latifah did not explicitly name Foxy Brown in the song, media outlets speculated that Brown was the primary target of the diss. At the time, Foxy Brown, a rising star known for her sharp lyrics and provocative image, had been making waves in the industry, and many believed that Latifah, as an established and respected figure, took issue with Brown's brash approach to fame. In Name Callin', Latifah was said to have subtly critiqued Brown for focusing more on image than on the depth of her music. Given Latifah's long-standing advocacy for female empowerment and respect in hip-hop, the song could be seen as addressing broader concerns about the portrayal of women in the industry, particularly younger artists like Brown, who some felt were perpetuating limiting stereotypes. Foxy Brown, known for her boldness, responded quickly and assertively. In interviews, Brown suggested that Queen Latifah's critiques stemmed from jealousy and took the conflict in a more personal direction by alluding to rumors about Latifah's private life. During a series of radio interviews, Brown insinuated that Latifah had shown an interest in her at various music events, hinting at a deeper, more personal motivation behind their feud. At the time, there was already some speculation about Queen Latifah's private life, though she had chosen to maintain her privacy. Brown's choice to reference these rumors marked a notable shift in the feud, bringing a personal and sensitive issue into what had started as a musical rivalry. The conflict intensified in 1998 when Foxy Brown released her diss track, 10% Diss, directly addressing Latifah. In this track, Brown continued to allude to Latifah's private life, suggesting that her criticisms were motivated by jealousy. The lyrics in 10% Diss included personal remarks that focused more on Latifah's private life than on her music or career. Brown's approach to discussing Latifah's personal matters illustrated the often harsh nature of rap feuds, where topics related to identity and privacy can become points of contention. By the late spring of 1998, the simmering feud between Queen Latifah and Foxy Brown had reached its boiling point. The rivalry, which began in the mid-1990s with Latifah's initial diss record, Name Callin', had evolved into one of the most talked-about conflicts in hip-hop. Latifah, a respected figure in the industry, known for her focus on empowerment, found herself in disagreement with Foxy Brown, a rising star whose style leaned heavily on bold expressions and self-promotion. The contrast between Latifah's message-driven rap and Brown's confident and unapologetic persona highlighted a unique dynamic, symbolizing the evolving roles of women in a predominantly male rap world. In response to Foxy Brown's increasingly pointed remarks, which included both lyrical and personal challenges, Queen Latifah responded with a follow-up track titled Name Callin' Part 2. Released in 1998, this track addressed Brown more directly than the earlier one. Latifah's lyrics subtly critiqued Brown's approach to maintaining public attention, particularly her use of bold imagery in her career. In the song, Latifah subtly critiqued Brown's reliance on provocative imagery, suggesting that her visual presentation overshadowed her lyrical abilities. One of the more cutting lines referenced Brown's lackluster flow, with Latifah hinting that without the emphasis on appearance, Brown's musical skills might not stand on their own. The track highlighted the broader issue of the pressures female rappers face to prioritize image over artistry, a subject Latifah had consistently addressed throughout her career. Latifah's approach in Name Callin' Part 2 was both confident and clever, reinforcing her standing as a prominent figure in rap who could defend her position without resorting to crudeness or unnecessary personal remarks. Her critique of Brown's emphasis on image went beyond individual rivalry, touching on a broader concern in the industry: the objectification of women. Latifah's response addressed this issue thoughtfully while upholding her values as an artist known for prioritizing strength, intellect, and depth over appearances. Not one to back down, Foxy Brown responded swiftly with her own diss track, Talk to Me. In this song, Brown intensified the feud, not only mocking Queen Latifah's music but also taking aim at her career as a talk show host. Brown ridiculed the ratings of the Queen Latifah show, which at the time was struggling to maintain strong viewership. Brown's jabs extended beyond music and into Latifah's television career, suggesting that Latifah was no longer relevant in the entertainment world. The most controversial aspect of Talk to Me was Brown's use of insensitive language and harsh remarks directed at both Queen Latifah and another rapper, Queen Pen. Brown's comments were based on long-standing media speculation about Latifah's personal life. By bringing this into the feud, Brown shifted the focus to more personal matters, touching on topics of identity and privacy that Latifah had consistently chosen not to discuss publicly. Despite the venomous nature of Brown's diss, public opinion largely sided with Queen Latifah. Many in the hip-hop community and media felt that Brown's personal attacks had crossed a line, particularly with her use of homophobic language. Latifah's response in Name Callin' Part 2, in contrast, was seen as more measured and focused on Brown's artistry rather than her personal life. Hip-hop magazine Ego Trip dubbed Latifah the winner of the feud, highlighting how she had managed to come out on top with her sharp lyricism and ability to put Brown in her place without stooping to personal attacks. The publication praised Latifah for proving that the ladies still first, referencing her 1990 single Ladies First, a feminist anthem that had established Latifah as a leader among women in rap. The feud, however, did not continue indefinitely. By 2000, both Latifah and Brown had matured, and the rivalry that had once been so bitter softened over time. In a surprising turn of events, the two women reconciled, putting an official end to their public spat. To demonstrate that the truce was genuine, Foxy Brown appeared on the Queen Latifah show and performed her hit song, Nah Nah Be Like. The performance was a significant moment in hip-hop, symbolizing not only the resolution of their feud, but also the possibility for women in the industry to come together, even after heated battles. Queen Latifah has been a trailblazer in challenging Eurocentric ideals and advocating for the representation of the black female body throughout her career. Her activism has taken many forms, rooted in a deep understanding of cultural identity, empowerment, and self-definition. One of the most significant early signs of her resistance to Eurocentric standards can be traced back to her name itself. While Latifah is derived from an Arabic word meaning delicate or graceful, it was queen that she intentionally adopted to reflect her desire to create a powerful black identity. This choice was influenced by her mother, Rita Owens, who instilled in her the values of self-worth and pride. Through the deliberate selection of her name, Latifah sought to embody and promote a vision of black womanhood that defied societal stereotypes. The concept of Afrocentric queendom serves as a framework for understanding Queen Latifah's activism. This term encompasses African-centered customs and philosophies that prioritize female empowerment and challenge the dominant narratives propagated by Eurocentric standards. Afrocentrism is a powerful ideology that seeks to reclaim African heritage, emphasizing the importance of recognizing and valuing African contributions to history and culture. By promoting Afrocentric queendom, Latifah disrupts oppressive environments and challenges the Eurocentric constructs that have historically marginalized black bodies, particularly those of women. Through her music, films, and public appearances, she continuously advocates for a redefinition of beauty and strength that aligns with her Afrocentric values. In the context of American history, the term queen represents a radical redefinition of identity for black women. Historically, many black women were relegated to demeaning roles, often referred to as mammy, a term that signified their forced servitude and caregiving roles for white families. The mammy archetype stripped away individuality and agency, imposing a singular narrative that depicted black women as nurturing figures devoid of their own identities. This stereotype not only reduced the complexity of black womanhood, but also perpetuated a cycle of oppression that marginalized their voices and experiences. Latifah's choice to use queen in her name is not merely a statement of self-identity, it is a powerful act of reclamation. It stands in stark contrast to the mammy stereotype, asserting that black women deserve respect, dignity, and autonomy. Queen Latifah's activism extends beyond her name to her body of work. She has consistently used her platform to celebrate Black womanhood and challenge prevailing societal norms. For example, in her music, she often explores themes of empowerment and self-acceptance. Songs like UNITY not only address issues of gender violence and sexism within the Black community, but also call for respect and solidarity among women. By addressing these critical issues, Latifah amplifies the voices of Black women and encourages them to assert their worth and identity in a society that frequently undermines them. Queen Latifah has long been a formidable voice in challenging Eurocentric standards and promoting Afrocentric ideals, integrating these concepts into her music and public persona. Her embrace of Afrocentricity serves as a foundation for her artistic expression, creating a sense of pride in her heritage while simultaneously empowering others. Latifah's assertion that Afrocentricity is a great way of living reflects her deep commitment to uplifting Black culture and identity, often through the lens of her own experiences as a plus-size Black woman in the entertainment industry. In her music, Queen Latifah actively incorporates elements of Afrobeats and African languages, reflecting the diverse tapestry of African culture while centering Black women in her lyrics and visuals. This approach not only celebrates her heritage, but also challenges the prevailing narratives that often marginalize or misrepresent the experiences of Black women. A prime example of this can be found in her groundbreaking 1989 music video for Ladies First. In this iconic piece, Latifah showcases South African culture, featuring Afrocentric visuals and traditional clothing that resonate with the continent's rich heritage. By placing South African culture at the forefront of her work, Latifah asserts the significance of African traditions and customs in the broader narrative of Black identity, further reinforcing her commitment to Afrocentricity. Latifah's celebration of the Black female body stands in stark contrast to the criticism and mockery that such bodies have often faced in popular culture. For decades, the images of Black women have been subjected to scrutiny, stereotyping, and imitation, with many celebrities reinforcing narrow beauty standards that exclude the realities of Black womanhood. Latifah, as a plus-sized Black woman, has consistently challenged these Eurocentric ideals by embracing body positivity and advocating for the acceptance of all body types. Throughout her early hip-hop career, she skillfully politicized and posterized her body, using her visibility to send a powerful message to young Black girls. All bodies deserve respect and celebration, regardless of size or shape. In a male-dominated field where hypermasculinity often dictates standards of beauty and desirability, Queen Latifah's representation of her own body was revolutionary. By refusing to conform to the conventional beauty norms that often sidelined plus-sized women, she carved out a space for herself and other women who felt marginalized by the industry's rigid standards. Latifah's insistence on being unapologetically herself not only elevated her status as an artist, but also inspired a generation of young women to embrace their own identities and bodies without shame. Throughout the mid-1990s, Latifah worked diligently to challenge the pervasive Eurocentric mythology that depicted Black female bodies as inferior or unworthy. She created a marketable figure that was both respectable and relatable within the hip-hop industry, paving the way for other artists to follow suit. Her music, with its empowering messages and celebration of Black identity, resonated deeply with audiences, particularly young women who were eager for representation that mirrored their own experiences. Latifah's influence extended beyond her music. She became a cultural icon who redefined what it meant to be a successful Black woman in the entertainment industry. By prioritizing authenticity and self-love, she created a blueprint for others to express themselves fully and confidently, challenging the limitations that society often imposes on women of color. Her efforts to center the experiences and perspectives of Black women have had a lasting impact, fostering a culture of inclusivity and empowerment that continues to resonate today. While she began her journey with a strong emphasis on Afrocentricity, she gradually embraced a broader range of Black American customs, finding a unique balance that allowed her to remain rooted in her heritage while also resonating with the experiences of Black Americans. This shift can be seen in her physical appearance and her musical evolution, particularly in her groundbreaking 1993 rap song, UNITY. In the early years of her career, Latifah was a strong advocate for Afrocentric ideals, using her music to celebrate African culture and challenge Eurocentric standards. However, as her artistry developed, she recognized the importance of incorporating Black American traditions into her work. This decision allowed her to create a more relatable and multifaceted identity that resonated with a diverse audience. By embracing both African and Black American customs, Latifah showcased the rich tapestry of Black identity, reflecting the complexity of her own experiences as a woman of color in the United States. The song UNITY marked a pivotal moment in Latifah's career as it highlighted her ability to blend different musical influences while addressing pressing social issues. The incorporation of jazz and soul sounds into her rap was not only a stylistic choice but also a celebration of the historical roots of Black music in America. This blend created a sonic landscape that honored the contributions of Black artists across generations, connecting contemporary hip-hop with its rich musical lineage. The song's smooth production, infused with jazzy melodies, exemplifies how Latifah was able to draw from her African-American heritage while still honoring her Afrocentric roots. Lyrically, UNITY is a powerful anthem that addresses several critical issues within the Black community, particularly the challenges faced by Black women. Latifah's lyrics confront harassment and domestic violence, providing a voice for those who often feel silenced in a patriarchal society. By addressing these concerns head-on, she not only empowers women but also raises awareness about the prevalence of violence against women within the Black community. This focus on gender-based violence and respect for women was groundbreaking, especially within a hip-hop landscape that often perpetuated misogyny and objectification. What do you think about what Queen Latifah went through? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.